bandana. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of On a Day's Work. It's your boy Trip.
And I'm Lucas.
I know it's been a while, but we're back in the studio making some content for you guys, and we just want to welcome you guys back to the show after the Thanksgiving break, and we're back at it. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, first and foremost, did you do your
Rubber
speaking?
baby buggy bumper?
Yeah, you're speaking.
Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, be sure. Go ahead.
I thought she was gonna keep going.
No, that's your part.
Before we get going, all right. We just want to first and foremost hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Ate some good food, spent some good time with family, all that good stuff. All right. Now, before we actually get started into our message, make sure you click that like, share, subscribe, all those good things. So you click that notification icon so you stay up to date. And yeah, you guys know what to do.
All that good stuff. Let's get into the episode, Lucas.
So what's up, man? What's on your mind?
There's a lot on my mind, man. I
think
I've lost my mind. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I don't even know what reality is anymore. Everything seems to be fake or made up, or what I thought was true is no longer true, and it's getting real concerning, man. Real concerning.
You should do what I do.
What?
Not care.
I can't not care. I have to care because I have kids. You see, if it was just me that I was worried about, like just me, I think I'd be all right because I wouldn't have to care. I would just worry about making sure my little piece of the pie is done and say, forget it, and not to worry about anything else. But I can't, because I have younger kids who need guidance, support, mentorship, a father. You know, things that matter.
That's what Cartoon Network is for.
Okay. Cartoon Network today is nothing like the Cartoon Network we had when we was kids. Then again, I didn't really watch Cartoon Network as a kid.
No?
No, it was always Nickelodeon for me. And my sister loved the Disney Channel. So we'd flip-flop back and forth. But we didn't have Cartoon Network. We had got like the fucked up ass cable on the VCR.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the VCR? And you had like 4 or 5 channels you can get if you connected it to the TV. We had that. And we were just stealing the cable, right? We were stealing cable, and we were able to get like, you know, a few channels or so. And Nickelodeon was one I had saved on my VCR. So I had in my room, I had this little fucked up TV. It was like black and white, old school TV. It was all fucked up, but I had it like jerry rigged. So we were able to have Nickelodeon in my room. It was fucked up, but it worked.
Hey man, whatever works.
Hey, those were the good cartoons back in the day. The old Nickelodeon cartoons.
Have you seen the cartoons these days?
Yeah, they're trash.
No, they're top notch.
Top notch trash. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely trash. Like, there's. Come on now.
But they're so progressive and good. And
exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
They teach a good message.
Do they, though? Do they really? We're
Tolerance.
coming for your kids.
Tolerance, man.
Tolerance?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, they're teaching tolerance.
They want the kids to tolerate this chaos?
Yeah.
So they're going to implement it in slow fashion?
Yeah, and they're going to teach you to not follow your parents because your parents are terrorists. Just follow what's sold on TV.
Oh, if you speak up against the narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Well, you asked how I'm doing. That's how I'm doing, Lucas.
So you're doing well.
Fantastic, sir. I am A-OK.
You sound like it.
Oh, I'm just peachy king, bro. I just found out I lost a soldier of mine to suicide, so I'm doing about as well as I can be with that news and trying to navigate through this chaotic life. So, how are you? Let me guess. When you asked how I was, that was where I was supposed to just say, oh, I'm fine, and just keep on going. You didn't actually mean like, how are you?
No, I meant how are you?
So you wanted me to go on that tangent?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I care.
Are you sure?
I care about you. If it was just some random person in the street and said, "How are you?" I don't really care. I just want you to say I'm fine so I can move on with my life.
Just keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Well, with the current uptick in chaos and bull crap, I'm trying not to curse.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
So we can be pushed out to a more broader audience. So that way YouTube is no longer trying to shadow and censor us for pushing some kind of stance, apparently.
So what you're saying is you're trying to water yourself down to
No.
appease the elite so they can get your message out there.
Not everything has to be used with curse, or not every message has to have curse words, right?
But you're watering yourself down if you're not the real you.
All right, fuck it. Let's get back to business, baby. You right. I can't let them water me down. That's my whole premise. Being able to say what I want to say, disagree, and still be friends. And if I sit here and water myself down, I'm no better than anybody else. We call that hypocritical.
And being fake.
Yeah, I ain't with that. I'm gonna keep it 100, my man.
And on that note,
ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing with the current situation in your neighborhood? That's what we don't want to know. So as you guys are continuing to watch this chaotic video, go ahead and leave us some comments and shout out where you're coming from and how you guys are doing in your current area.
yeah, because in our area, man, there's craziness. I just got notified of a couple shootings that happened last night.
As a matter of fact, right here in the not here, but in the city of Seattle, there were several overnight shootings. And can you believe, and we will post a link right down below for you guys to see. This came from our local news station, KIRO7.com, where it says several overnight shootings in Seattle. Imagine that. So this article came out today at 10:40 Pacific Standard Time, and it says Seattle police are investigating multiple shootings around Seattle on Thursday night into Friday morning. In two of the incidents, a 29-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl both sustained serious injuries. Now, I just want to pause right there for a second. Two sentences in this article. And the first thing one of the first things that they highlight or that catches my eye is a 29-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there could be a logical reason why they're together. Maybe it's his uncle and that's the niece. Maybe that's...
Well, I think these are separate incidents.
Oh, are they?
I think they are.
Oh, well, maybe I should continue to read.
Yeah, I don't think that both of these people were shot in the same shooting.
Okay.
I think they're different.
Okay.
Different events.
Let's dive into the story. Around 4:30 p.m., police responded to a report of gunfire near Garfield High School. Witnesses told police that they saw teenagers running from the scene and a man fleeing eastbound on East Jefferson Street. Police found evidence that two people possibly exchanged gunfire, firing around 36 shots. 36 shots.
So that's a lot of money they wasted right there to hit nobody.
It's a lot of bullets. 36? With ammo prices kind of they are right now.
That's what I'm saying.
We wasting 36, but hey, man. First of all, why you wasting 36 rounds? If you ain't shooting, if you shoot 36 rounds and you ain't hit the person, you need to learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
Because if you're shooting 36 rounds and there's not 36 people injured or shot, you can't shoot.
No, I agree with you. Shot conservation, people.
I'm not condoning shooting in the streets, YouTube, or anybody. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, obviously, proper gun training would be better. I'm just going to leave that one alone because this one seems really bad. The way I'm saying it sounds really bad.
Yeah.
It sounds... I'm not condoning violence at all. Fuck. I just fucked that up. See, this is the problem. See, a veteran says something like that to another veteran. We understand where I'm coming from, but someone's going to be like,
they're saying they needed to have shot 36 people.
Right. That's not what the hell I'm saying. But and now I have to put a disclaimer out there. Actually, this is what I mean, just so you know.
Yeah, we don't condone in just shooting random people.
I don't condone violence at any means necessary unless you're defending yourself or somebody else.
Yeah, not shooting at random people.
Not 3 dozen at least.
Well, shooting at any amount of random people is just wrong.
Exactly. Unless it's mutual combat in Chicago, right?
Yeah, I guess that's okay. Hey, you gotta mark it with your PvP flags.
That's allowed as long as it's mutual combat. Even though you're gang-related incidents, you can shoot each other. As long as it's mutual combat, nobody will be charged.
That's right.
Good job, blue states and blue cities. Outstanding job. You guys are showing me how great America's
coming to a democratic city near you.
So I'm going to continue on. So 3 dozen shots. No one was injured, but a house and 2 vehicles sustained bullet damage. Of course, 3 dozen shots. Something's going to get hit because bullets go very fast, very far, until they don't. That's all I'm going to say about bullets.
That's basic physics right there.
You got where I trust the science.
But unless it comes to gender and...
We're not going to go down that path right now.
Anyway, back to the shootings.
Around 8:15 p.m., police responded to a report from a motorist who said someone fired a gun at them from a black sedan, likely in an incident of road rage on State Route 509 near First Avenue Bridge. The motorist was not injured in the shooting, but around 9 p.m., police responded to a report of another shooting at 3rd Avenue and Pike. Before police arrived, the victim was taken to Harborview Medical Center with serious injuries.
And then there's another one.
And then another one around 9:10. And a passenger in a gray sedan fired on another motorist in Rainier Beach. No one was injured in this shooting.
At 3:30 a.m.
What in the hell? Around 3:30 a.m., a 15-year-old girl was found by police with gunshot wounds to her legs inside of a stolen, bullet-riddled Jeep in the 4200 block of South Eddy Street.
Keep going down.
Police found more than 2 dozen rounds at a shooting scene and several blocks away. What the fuck is going on in Seattle?
Keep going.
While speaking to the injured girl and another teenage girl was in the car, police noticed the girls were evasive about the circumstances of the shooting. Police also found a gun near the scene, and a ski mask and bulletproof vest in the stolen Jeep. A large stack of cash with an apparent bullet hole that was also found by police. If you have any information to these shootings, call the Seattle Police Department Violent Crimes Tip Line at 206-233-5000. Wow, what is going on in Seattle, bro?
So what was that, 4 shootings with 2 victims?
And 15-year-olds with cash and bulletproof vests? What is going on with these kids?
Inside a stolen vehicle.
What is going on in Seattle? And we're supposed to be thinking of Seattle as this progressive city. We're doing great things, and yet they defunded the police in Seattle. Mm-hmm. What is going on? What do you think is actually going on, man?
I think we're trying to be like Chicago.
What do you mean? Bless you. You ain't got that Rona, do you? That Omicron? That's the mild symptoms. You get mild cold-like symptoms.
No, I just sneezed because I'm allergic to dog hair.
Okay. I'm just making... I mean, you got to ask nowadays, right? Anyways, what do you think's going on with Seattle, man?
Where do I start? They're fucked up from the ground up.
What I was asking is, why do you think, or why you said they're trying to turn it into Chicago? Like, what do you think the main purpose between these progressive cities allowing this kind of stuff to happen? Like, what do you think the actual end goal is?
They're creating a problem so they can market the solution, so they can stay in power.
So that the people don't have to come together or solve it themselves. The government will figure it out.
Yeah, so that they have this problem
that they created
by various efforts, whether it's defunding the police, slashing the police budget, so on and so forth.
Allowing blocks to be overcome by terrorists and
not prosecuting crimes that should have been prosecuted. Not to say that any of those have anything to do with these shootings. So now when there is a problem with increasing violence, like, oh, we see this problem, let's run on it next election. Hey, there's violence in the streets that was caused by X, Y, and Z.
And
I'm going to solve it.
And your politicians before didn't do anything about it. They allowed this to happen. Instead of fixing the problem, they're just going to bash each other.
You need me to solve this problem for you because the last people failed you. Even though the last people and you y'all run in the same circles. Y'all have the same ideas. And it's going to be a continuous problem.
You also have the same opportunities to fix the issues.
But you just don't.
Instead, you got yourself a bonus and didn't fix a fucking thing.
For example, maybe giving bonuses because you have a what's the word I'm looking for? A depleted police force. Maybe fixing that problem by offering bonuses to get more police officers hired to start handling these situations. But no, do you want to do that? No, we're going to slash that because we don't want to fund police anymore.
Or offer more training for these officers. And better yet, how about incentives for the officers who are working triple shifts? Or
just maybe doing the basics and prosecuting the criminals that are getting caught instead of doing a bail reform where they're in the police station and then out the door.
That is what I don't understand. So why is it that you can commit these types of crimes in these cities and then they just let you right back out on the street? They don't prosecute you. So you're essentially just making more work for police and more dangerous because they're going to have to continue to to deal with the same people over and over and nothing's going to get done.
And these are criminals that already don't care. What about the up-and-comers that are getting emboldened by the lack of prosecution that they feel like even if they were to go out and commit a crime and get caught, nothing's going to happen to them?
You just said it's these criminals, they don't care. What criminals really care? If you're a criminal, do you really think you care about the rules?
I'm talking about the career criminals that obviously don't care about the law. But what about those potential people that say, hey, they're not doing anything with the people that they're catching. Maybe I should go out and start doing something.
Because it's dangerous. And it's somebody else's job. We should be paying for this to be done. Because guess what? We do. Your taxes go towards that and nothing's being done. Instead, they want to take that money, give themselves little slick bonuses and put it into efforts of these progressive programs that are not helping anybody. We're enabling. We are working ourselves. We're trying to figure out ourselves. How do we help homeless people without enabling them?
Well, I think the key right there, not to get off onto a different subject, is just you can only help somebody so much, right? So it all comes down to personal responsibility with wanting to take those steps to improve your life yourself. So somebody can show. Go ahead.
You can only help somebody if they're willing
to be helped. Absolutely. And I'm all for helping people, but you got to know when you're just,
wasting time. Or just, all right, look, my efforts aren't helping you. I'm going to back off.
Yeah, I'm giving you all this stuff. I just need you to be willing to take the first step and help yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to, it's like having all these job openings, but if people don't apply to it, they're not going to get a job.
The way I'm looking at it is, how many of these jobs right now in like these bigger corporations, how many of these actual jobs are vital or necessary? Some of them you guarantee they're not. But instead of closing that specific job and working in a different area or focusing in a different area, putting efforts into a different area, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
See, I want to say this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking at the real problems that we're dealing with in our streets, the real issues that are going on in our country, and no efforts being done to fix those real problems. We have When you think about a day in the life of an American, we go to a shitty job, most likely. You're overworked, and you're doing just what you can to make ends meet. And this is the story for so many more people in this country than our government seems to think. I don't know what illusion that they think about where if you make $400,000 or less, you won't be taxed. Well, do you realize how many people that is in America? Not that many people make $400,000 a year. So it makes me wonder, why are we wasting our efforts in shit that doesn't matter instead of actually fixing the problems right here in our streets? We have to figure out what programs do we have that are only enabling this kind of behavior, and what efforts are we going to take to nip that shit in the bud? Because if you think crime being up like this in a city that where 10 years ago it was nothing like this, and you want me to believe that it's okay and it's safe, my kids don't even want to go to Seattle.
I mean, I can't imagine a person that actually does.
It's getting worse and worse every day, and we work out of there and have to deal with these crackheads and shootings and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're privatized and we have to deal with it.
Yeah.